guys, today we're going to be testing out a new to me brand, and the brand that I'm talking about is FiftyFifty Makeup. Now, this brand got on my radar because I was watching one of my friends, Nikki. I will have her channel listed down below. But she lives in Europe and this is a European indie brand. So what I like the most about this brand is that 50% of their profits go to a charity of your choice. Now, I did get this sent in PR because they somehow watched my episode where I was on Beauty News and we were talking about indie makeup in that episode. And so they contacted me and they were like, hey, can we send you the palette because you seem to be interested in it? And I was like, of course, like I would love to try this. So I haven't gone through the process of actually picking out a charity to donate to because I didn't order this on the site myself. So I don't know how that process is like. But the fact that they do that is still just so awesome. So I will show you the palette. It doesn't seem to have a name. I think this is just like their spring palette. So this is what the palette looks like. It's a super cute, very spring palette, if you will, and kind of like Valentine's-y as well. And it did come in a slip like this. Ingredients are on the back. It is cruelty-free and vegan. So we are gonna go ahead and swatch this palette and then we're gonna create a look with it. And I also don't have a lot of like face products on. I have some cream products. I have a cream bronzer and a cream blush. And what I wanna do is I wanna try to get better at like finishing my face after I'm done with my makeup. So we're gonna go in with some blush and highlighter after I'm done with my look, because sometimes when I do my face first and I already have like highlighter and stuff on, I feel like it ends up clashing with the look because I never plan out the looks that I'm going to do in advance. So let's do that after I'm done with like the eye makeup. I want to try to like do that more often because I feel like it would be more fun for you guys too to kind of see some more products being featured. So let's go ahead and swatch this palette first and then we can get into trying it after. So this palette is currently out of stock, and when I was looking on the site, it is just called the Spring Palette, and it does retail for £15. So this is a UK-based brand. It has 5 shimmers and 4 mattes, and they all swatch beautifully. So I'm excited to test this out on the eyes. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to prime my eyes with my Smashbox Lid Primer in Light. So I would like to try to get something that's going to go with this dress that I'm wearing. It's just like a striped navy and other colors kind of dress. It doesn't really go with this palette though. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I want to wear this dress because I got it yesterday. I bought it from ThredUp. If you guys want a video about ThredUp, I've been trying to shop there more lately because they have a lot of brands that I really like the aesthetic of, but like it's just too expensive to buy full price, so I like to buy it like, you know, on a discount. So let me know if you want a video, maybe like a try-on haul or something like that. I could probably do that because I've been really enjoying a lot of the stuff that I've gotten there lately. But let's focus on this palette now. So what do I want to do today? I'm thinking if I'm gonna have any chance at creating anything that's going to kind of go with this look, this color right here, which is kind of like the purple, is similar to one of the stripes that's like in my dress here. So maybe I'll use that shade along with possibly like this nude, or maybe I'll use these two in my crease. Maybe that could be an idea, or maybe these two even. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to touch the green today. I know, I'm sorry, it's like the most popping shade in this palette, but I think I'm actually going to stay away from it because I just don't want to have to change after. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by taking the purple, I guess it's more of a magenta. This one is called Tulip. And I'm going to take this on my referral number 13 brush. I mean, who is surprised really though? So I'm going to first just make sure that my eyeshadow primer is tapped out, and then I'm going to put that in the outer corner of my eye. Now this is a first impression on the brand obviously, so I don't know anything about their eyeshadows and how they're going to perform. So I'm very interested to see if I'm going to end up liking this palette, because so far I really like them as a brand, but I mean obviously that has nothing to do with their eyeshadow quality. So curious to see how these are going to perform. So far it's laying down very nicely. It's nice and pigmented here. And I'm gonna go ahead and run this through my crease. So this is going to end up being a very pink look, but that's okay because I really like pinks on myself, and I think that if you can find the right shade of pink, I think everybody can look pretty good in pink eyeshadow. The trick I find for me is just to make sure I break it up with enough eyeliners and like maybe another shade of a different color and something like that to just make it not all pink, because if you use only pink, sometimes it can make it look a little bit sick. And I also find that If you make sure that your shadow is very pigmented and very bright and very in your face, it's going to make it less so that you look sick and more like it's intentional. Whereas if you try to do like a very soft pink look, that's sometimes when it might end up looking a bit weird. So far I think that the formula on this is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's a little bit sheer and it's a little bit hard to build up, but it does build. It's just taken a little bit of time to really get this color down. So I think what I'm going to do is, once I put down this shadow, I'm going to go in with the brown and put that on my lower lash line. Like maybe that could make for a bit of a different look. It's not something that I usually do. Now, of course, I am going to go ahead and blend some more, but I first want to go into the brown. It's more like a caramel color. This one is called Bon Bon. It's actually quite a beautiful brown. I really like the shade of that. It's like an orangey caramelly brown. It looks so yummy. Like it looks like something that I would want to eat. And I'm just going to go ahead and smudge that underneath my eye here. So I would say if you're maybe not that experienced with color and you want to get into color, this seems to be a very beginner-friendly formula because it's not very hard to work with and you can do softer looks with these if you want to. I actually really like the shade of this brown. Like that is really pretty and it goes so well with that pink as well. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that pink. Just put that in the outer corner here and make sure that the sides are looking the same here. So I am gonna go in and start blending a bit more here. I might even go into Charmed and use that to kind of help the blend a little bit because it's not looking very blended right now, as you can see. So I'm taking a little bit of this color on my Morphe M506 brush and I'm just going to run that over the edge here. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that brown and really blow this out underneath my eye because I feel like my top is a lot heavier than my bottom here, so I just want to kind of even them out a little bit. And then let's go in with some of these shimmers. So I think I'm just going to use two of them. I'm first going to take Carnations. I am going to go ahead and spray this though because I just always do that with my shimmers. And I'm going to put that in the outer portion of my lid. And then I think for the inner portion, I'm going to take the champagne shade and put that in the inner corner and like the first third or so of my lid. So this is a beautiful shimmer. That is really nice and sparkly and very wet looking and shimmery. I love that. That's a beautiful formula. I will say that there are definitely some different shimmer formulas in this palette and not all of them are as intense as this one, which is kind of why I chose this one because I do like me a very intense shimmer. And as you can see, I'm not doing a cut crease. I'm just kind of blending this into my crease with the edge of my brush here. So I'm having a little bit of fallout with this shade, but it's not a big deal. Usually shimmers wipe away very easily, and that was the case today too. So to finish off, is this even going to be like the last shade? I'm not sure, but let's go into Blossom, which is, like I said, this kind of champagne-y shade. I might even be able to use that as my face highlighter today, but let's see what happens when the look is all complete and what I want to use. So I'm going to put that in the inner portion of my lid here. Yeah, this color is definitely a bit sheerer than the color that I just put down. It's a little bit crumbly too, but I do think that it's a really pretty color. Having a bit of a hard time getting like a smooth application. It's looking a little bit chunky in certain spots. I'm not sure how well that is really showing up on camera, but when I look at it up close, it's definitely not a very smooth application. And it's taken a little bit of time to just really get this to blend out. I'm going to take a bit of this and just wrap it around to my lower lash line here. I don't want a ton of it, just a little bit, just to kind of tie everything together. And then I'm going to go back into the crease shade that I used and just make sure that everything is nice and blended together. So I think this looks quite nice. Let's see, what do I want to do in my waterline? I'm like looking at my dress here and I'm looking at my hair and I'm like, it's a lot. So I need to find something that's going to kind of not be too different from anything that I'm wearing. I'm thinking I might just use my Fenty liner if I can find that somewhere. Or maybe I'll even use my LA Girl liner, because I feel like now that my hair is a bit more faded, the Fenty liner doesn't match my hair as good as this. And this kind of will also bring in like the whole vibe of the palette, since the shade right here is like the same color as my eyeliner. So instead of using that shade, I'm using this to kind of bring in the same kind of vibe. So I'm gonna pop this in my waterline. This, did I say what this was? It's in the shade Fresh. And I'm going to do some liner and mascara, then I'll come back and we can finish off the face, put on a lipstick, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the palette and we can wrap up the video. Alright, so the eyes are somewhat done. I still want to do one more thing, because I was looking in my drawers and I saw my Beauty Bar Baby Flakes, and I was like, I haven't used my flakes in so long that I need to pull these out again, so I'm going to use these ones. These ones are in the shade Cordelia. I'm not really sure like how they're going to look on the eyes, because it's so hard to see like the actual reflect in these before you put them on. So I'm going to take some glitter glue here. I'm going to use my Too Faced glitter glue. And I do have a video where I swatch, I think, 8 of these. And I'm going to put this in my inner corner, but I do have a swatch video with these. I will link that up in the corner, but these are absolutely beautiful. And it just hurts me that I keep forgetting to use them all the time. So I need to pull them out and like leave them in front of me so that I don't forget. So with the same brush that I put on the glitter glue with, I'm going to dip into my flakes and I'm going to use that to pack on the flakes with. And these kind of do fly everywhere, so you have to be a little bit careful, but they are so beautiful. And like the camera just doesn't do these any justice, which is so sad. And these are actually eye safe too, if you were wondering. I don't like putting glitters on my eyes because they're not eye safe and I don't feel comfortable with removing them and knowing that I'm not going to get them into my eyes. But these just like kind of melt into your skin. It's weird. Like they're very thin and flaky, which is probably why they're called flakes, but they're absolutely stunning. Oh, did you see like how much that added to my look? These just make me so happy. Do have a little bit of fallout, but since they don't have any glue or anything in them, they're just going to wipe away as long as you don't have any glue down. So that's going to be the eyes all done. I do want to bronze a little bit because I just have a cream bronzer on and I just don't feel like that's really enough. So I'm going to take my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, simply because this is the lightest bronzer that I have in my collection at this moment. And I am at my palest right now, so this is really the only one that I feel like I can use without going overboard or having to be like super careful with it. Oh, and I'm using my referral number 18 brush. This is probably my favorite brush for bronzer because it's nice and small and it's kind of pointed, but it's so soft and it just blends out so beautifully. And then for blush, I'm going to use my Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo because I love these. And I think I'm just going to use the shimmery side today because that's kind of the look that I'm going for, I guess. Like, I just want this to be more of a glowy type of look, and I also don't need to wear this all day. Usually I wouldn't go with like a super glowy look if I'm going to wear my makeup for a very long period of time because I do have oily skin, and so sometimes I feel like my makeup kind of breaks up a bit quicker if I wear too many dewy products and too many cream products. So maybe I went a little bit overboard with this, but as usual I really don't care because I just love blush so much. I am gonna take my powder brush though and just kind of use that to go over everything with. And for my highlighter, the one that I picked out today is going to be my Star Surfer highlighter from Kaleidos because this is more of like a pinky tone and I feel like it's just going to go really well with this look. Again, I'm going to use a Kaleidos brush. This is the, I don't even know what brush this is. This is a prototype. Let me see if I have another one here. Okay, yeah, this is the number 16 brush. So I'm going to use that to apply my highlighter with. That is so beautiful. Oh, I love this highlighter so much. And I know I have mentioned it in the past and I don't want to be pushing this on you guys, but I do have a code with referral. It's a code that's only available if you want to buy the full set, but it will give you a $140 discount. So it will be down in my description box if you want to check it out. And it is an affiliated code, so if you do use it, thank you so much, but it will also give you an amazing discount on some amazing brushes. So I just want to, you know, mention it from time to time because not everybody watches all of my videos, and I know so many of you guys have been asking me about the referral brushes all the time, so I just want to make sure that I try to mention it here and there. So for my lipstick, I'm actually going to use one of the new Alter Ego lipsticks. I've been really liking these. I'm not sure if this color is going to go with this look, but I feel like I wanted something that would match my lower lash line because I don't really have anything or anywhere else in my look that I can match my lipstick to. So I thought that this could be like a nice kind of like orangey brown sort of. I'm not really sure what I would call this, but it's in the shade Intrigue. I also have a lip swatching video with these that I will link up. Let me link it up in the corner. So I'm not completely sure if I love this lipstick with this look. I love the lipstick, but I just don't know. I don't know what else I would go with though. Like, I guess I could go with like a very nude, but that's just so boring. So we're just gonna call this the look. I think this came together very well, and I really like these flakes that I put in. They are so pretty. Oh, I just need to use my flakes more, because can you really see like the shift that those give in the inner corner? It's just, oh, it's beautiful. Now let's talk a bit more about this palette, because that is what this video is mainly about. So far, I really like this palette. Like I was saying when I was doing my look, I feel like it's a very beginner-friendly palette in that the shadows aren't super pigmented right away, but they are on the buildable side, which makes them easier to work with, and you can also get softer looks out of it if that is what you're looking for. And I think that this shimmer right here is absolutely stunning. This kind of champagne-y shimmer was a little bit more on the crumbly side and sheer side and a little bit harder to work with. It could also have been my brush, because I don't usually use that brush with shimmers, so I'm going to give this color the benefit of the doubt, because I do feel like it's a really beautiful shimmery champagne, and I feel like it's a lot smoother swatched out than it was when I applied it to my eye, so maybe I just used a bad brush for that one. But I think that overall, like, the quality of this palette is really nice, and for the price it's very inexpensive, and like I was saying, it's very beginner friendly. So I think that if you've been eyeing this brand and you also want to support a good cause, I think this is a great place to start. And as for everything else that I used, I think this look came together very well. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there was anything else I could have done to kind of match my dress. I'm not really sure. I feel like no matter what I used in this palette, this was not going to be a very cohesive all-around look. But I still like it, and I still think it looks good. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to FiftyFifty Makeup for sending me this palette. If you want to see some other first impressions that I've done, here's a few more. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.